Hello, all and sundry. Welcome back to the show. It is your favorite Jackson, the good Jackson, not the bad Jackson, who you might see over on Dapper's channel. You'll also see the good Jackson on Dapper's channel, so beware of that. It's been a little while. It's been like 2 weeks since we did a show, right? It was 2 weeks ago that we did the. Was it? Is that right?
Yes.
We did the Fuzz Rana show. Yeah, I guess that was
3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
Hold up. No, it was on the 14th, wasn't it? Wait, one, two. Oh, shoot, you're right.
All...
Okay.
Hey,
joining me
I'm
today
invisible.
Is
there we go.
Ness and allegedly Peter.
Yes.
We hope that Peter will make his presence known to us, so that we may know him.
Yeah, I'm still slightly off. I did my back in last Friday, so up until today, I spent my life completely horizontal. But I'm trying to sit up for this one.
Why did you do your back in?
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those weird things that I do every once in a while, and it just results in pain and suffering, and I have no clue why I do it. A stupid thing to do, but
it is because you're meant to suffer for, the sins of mankind.
I think that's it. I think that's it. Because hell doesn't exist, they just make me suffer here. I think that's it.
I mean, we're in the bad place. Yeah. I mean, Trump won, so he must be in the bad place. So
well, it does say in the Bible that God doesn't punish you after you die. He punishes you while you're still alive. So I think with what's going on in the world, that's about it, I guess.
Yeah, this is definitely this is gonna be punishment for the next 4 years. And you know what? I didn't do anything. I'm blameless for once.
Mm-hmm.
I voted for the not the orange man, so I can't be blamed for this. However, I do live in a deeply red state, so I can only do so much. However,
and anyway. Apparently the people who did vote for the orange man are having lots of second thoughts, because the day of the election, the most used search term on Google was "what are tariffs?" And so now they know, and so they figured out that the people paying for those are the American customers, not the people in the country that they put the tariffs on.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy in several months to explain to people that they voted for the guy who said he was going to raise the prices of eggs, not lower them. That's going to be real fun to have that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But it isn't just tariffs. It also isn't just tariffs. Like
no.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Also the migration. You're correct, because a lot of companies have already announced that they're going to raise prices because there'll be a loss of people working.
Yeah, the migrants. Yep.
Yes, and so they have to hire people who want more pay, possibly.
Yep.
So. Yeah.
Yep. Fun times. So, I do want to say that David Ekstrom, I don't know what a tariff is, but let me tell you why it's vital to our economic recovery. True.
Mm-hmm.
What's really funny is there's a video of Ben Shapiro from like several years ago being like, tariffs are the worst. They're going to ruin our economy. We should vote against tariffs. And now he's like, don't pay attention to the videos of me from several years ago, please. Don't look.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to bear in mind, like Ben Shapiro is just a hired tool. Like he just is.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I do want to say, I know that the videos have been coming out very sporadically recently. So part of the reason for that is a bunch of events have been happening recently. For one thing, like got married start of November. So that was one thing we mentioned that in the last show. So it's been kind of sporadic. Another thing is
now you said that. Now you said that you're going to end up with less subscribers than when we started the show, because all the single women will now unsubscribe. I mean,
that is. I mean, I'm sure Camilla can make an exception for all of my single subscribers.
Losing hopes and dreams.
Yes. Starting the show off with crushing.
Oh no, she's picking up a shoe over in the back. Anyway.
Well, if she's in any way, shape, or form related to Eddie Murphy's mother, she was. If I remember correctly, she was accurate with that thing. and so was Robert Reed's mother, or so he told me.
I'm also it's finals season for my students, which really doesn't require a whole lot of work on my part. But in addition to it being finals season, I've also been assigned the classes I'm going to be teaching next semester. So I'm having to prepare for those now. So I'm teaching at least 2, possibly 3 classes in the spring, and so that's a lot of work. It is a lot of work to put a class together. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. So, so that's where all of my time has been going recently. So I don't really. The Rotifer's Tale, if I'd kept on track, would have probably come out in like late November, but I haven't been keeping up with it. I'll try to get out whenever I can. Actually, I did write a script for YouTube this past month. I wrote like a 9.5-page script. Was not for my channel though.
Yay!
I wrote it for somebody else's channel.
See, yeah, the same problem I have. I do all the work for someone else's channel, and my own.
It was I won't tell you who. Well, I'll put a post on like Blue Sky on Blue Sky whenever it comes out. So really, I did write a script. I stayed within my normal kind of month-to-month range. However, it just wasn't for me. It was for a different channel. So I'm excited. I'm excited for that one. I've been reading a lot of history recently, and that helped out with this script. So
I think you're the first YouTuber to not say I'll write a post on Twitter, but write a post on Blue Sky. So I don't know how it is for anyone else, but my Twitter timeline has pretty much died out.
Yep, I jumped ship.
Everyone's gone.
Most of the science communicators I know have also jumped ship. I'm perfectly fine with that. I like Blue Sky. There have been a bunch of people on Twitter saying that oh, Blue Sky is going to turn into an echo chamber with all the liberals flocking to it.
No.
Oh no, my comments aren't going to be full of Nazis. People associated with the National German Workers' Party. Like I'm so sorry. I can't bring myself to care that there aren't going to be creationists and flat earthers and anti-vaxxers in my comments every time I make a post. I can't bring myself to care.
There will be, because they've been in mine, all of them.
Really? Okay.
The National Socialist Party guys, the flat earthers, and the creationists. So they've all found Blue Sky. The good thing is that
I haven't seen any of them yet.
Yeah, the good thing is that the National Socialist who thought he would have a go at me, he no longer exists on Blue Sky. That was really quick.
There was one guy, what's he called? He's called like End Wokeness or whatever. He was only on for like a day before he got suspended or something because he was intentionally antagonizing people. So, again, don't care. I just can't bring myself to care. I very much prefer Blue Sky to Twitter. So that's where I am now. So if you want to, if you do happen to want to see my posts still, I'm over on Blue Sky now. So go check that out.
I do have to say one thing, because I think we all know this guy. He is from Dutch descent, albeit from the bad part. He's from over in the West, But so he's now in Canada. His name is Cy ten Bruggenkate, and he recently got back on Twitter. And last week, he finally got this blue tick. after, I think after in your DMs, you got this massive advert that it was 40 or 50% off to get your blue tick because Elon is running out of money. And then he posted, now that I'm verified, you're not verified, you're just paying money to get this blue tick behind your name. This has nothing to do with verification. But
okay, Peter, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm sure you're up on the lore more than I am. He disappeared in connection with some scandal in his church for a bit. Yes. Like he was everywhere. Then some scandal broke out, and then he vanished.
He was again? Inappropriate with one of the church members, which was a woman that let's say she had some mental issues, so she was an adult, but her brain wasn't yet that kind of woman. And so his church took away pretty much everything. They took away his website, they took away his Twitter account, his Facebook account, I think, But he's back. Apparently, the Lord forgave him. I mean, it's so good that you can say that the Lord forgave you, because the Lord's not going to complain, right? If you say he forgave me, who's going to jump in and say, "Hey, I never did. You're making stuff up." But yeah,
true. I mean, yeah, it's easy, or well, everyone deserves a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh chance.
This reminds me of a joke that I told when I was 13. So there was a farmer nearby who had a pretty good orchard with pretty much everything. So he had apples, pears, cherries, everything, right? And so he'd never been on holiday, and so this was the first time he was going to go on holiday, and he was scared that people would pillage his orchard. And so the local vicar said to him, "You know what you need to do? You need to put up a big sign that says, 'God sees everything.'" And so he did that. He put up a really big sign, and he went on holiday. And so my granddad was a painter, so I had access to paint. So when he came back, he looked at his orchard, which was completely empty, and he thought, they knocked over my sign. So he ran to the sign, and there it was, "God sees everything." And I wrote underneath, but doesn't tell anyone.
Terrible.
That was my dad joke for the day, which I told when I was 13. I'm miserable.
Ridiculous. Okay. All right. We ready to do some more Harun Yahya?
Let's bring on
our favorite
the dramatic
guy who's
music.
Serving multiple consecutive life sentences in prison for sex trafficking. I guess.
What's 1,000 years for the Lord? 1,000 years is but a day.
It's a little bit longer than a day for Harun, I'm sure, or for Adnan. But if you guys will remember, everybody who's watching, the first half or the first whatever part of this video we covered was basically all just them showing a fossil and a modern organism and saying it's just a fish, and that was it. And we were like, please tell us what species either the fossil or the modern fish is, or mosquito or lizard or whatever. They never did. Not a single time.
You can't ask them to be specific, Jackson. They need to be vague.
True.
Just like in the Bible and in the Quran. If it's vague, then it's okay.
I also remember octopedal bats for some reason.
Oh, that's right. Yes, the bat that had there were a couple of those, weren't there? Like, because the bat, it had the limbs that were like folded in, but also
also the wings.
Yeah, at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, weren't there a couple of those? We like looked at them. We were like, "What the
Yeah,
heck is going on here?"
there was another one, but I can't recall. I mean,
but yeah, that was pretty great because the longer you look at it, the worse it got. Kind of like that guy's the high school dropout was in that video we watched with Pamela Acker, and the longer you looked at the his picture on his Twitter account, the worse it got.
Oh yes, yes, the Virgin Mary with the pig snout. He never
Right,
replied.
and the like weird spider jumping in the background. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I don't know what the guy was using who made that picture, but it was more than just shrooms, I can tell you. It was looked like something from the 60s when doing drugs was cool.
I mean, doing drugs
Spacing
is
out.
still cool, but is it ever not cool? I mean, all the cool kids do it, right? So we probably just got demonetized for that. Anyway,
Probably.
all right. So let's jump right back in. Let's see if they get any more specific with the fossils or modern organisms that they're using. But more likely, probably not.
No, but there is nice dramatic music. So
there is nice. Living fossils.
So far in this film, we have obtained local information about fossils. We have seen what fossils are and how they are informed. The fossil record heads the list of the major pieces of evidence that demolish the theory of evolution. As you will probably know, the theory of evolution...
I think it's a translation, right? Like he's not speaking in English, I believe.
The Russians, the Russians do it like that too. It's really weird.
They could just, like we see him talking. They could, I think, just not do that. That's really weird. I don't like. I've seen some documentaries do that, where like the person they're interviewing is like speaking in French or whatever, and then but they usually like mute the person who's speaking, and you just hear the translation. Usually, you don't hear them in the background and also the translation going, right?
I have to ask, have they hit your channel already, Jackson? The great people of YouTube. With
hit my channel for what?
With a new feature. I've been following. So with some channels it goes desperately wrong. Because YouTube has a new feature. They will have AI translate your voice into other languages. And then what happens is you can choose the language. But for some channels, they remove the original voice. So, I mean, that would be hilarious that people watching your channel could only listen to it in let's say, German or French or something.
Mm.
That would be funny.
Interesting. But... No, I don't think I've ever used that. I've only seen I've only ever seen like the transcript, which I really like the transcript feature. I think that's very useful.
That is cool.
Sometimes I'll have to go back and be like, oh, I know I heard him say like whatever, and then you can search it, and it's pretty cool. I like that we can do that.
But I really hate it that YouTube puts this into action and not give you the preference of choosing what you want to hear. I follow a few German YouTubers, and they now translate everything from then into English with a completely different voice. And every single time a new video comes out, I have to change the language back to the original. And so I have no idea what YouTube is trying to do with this. I mean, I like the idea, because now you can listen to more channels because it will be translated into a language that you know, right. And it's kind of dubbed, so it does go along with the mouth of the person on screen.
Mm-hmm.
But I think at least give people a choice to what they want to hear. But one of the guys that I learned my OBS tips and tricks from, he got his entire voice removed. Maybe because he's Australian and that doesn't exist, so it can't have a language, I guess. I don't know. But
Australia does not exist. That is true.
He was really mad. People messaged him, I can't watch your video in your original voice anymore. You can't? What? Yeah, it was a thing.
Very weird. Very weird.
Yeah. Yeah, but this is Russian.
The thing is that YouTube could have been generating a transcript for years with the code that does their closed captioning. That's all the transcript is. I mean, sure, okay, and that's fair. I'm just glad, I guess, that it's available now. So.
Yeah. But the way this is translated, that's Russian. They do that too. They leave the original sound and then talk over it, make it more confusing and horrible.
Yeah, it's the sound. It sounds very weird with him talking in the background, then the translator over. It's like, wait, hold on, what did you say? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we can keep going.
Evolution claims that living things acquired their present, perfect, and complex structure during a process lasting millions of years, leading always from the primitive structures to the more advanced. The truth is very different, however, because when you examine the fossil record with an unbiased eye, you can see very clearly and distinctly that the life forms that existed millions of years ago were not primitive in the least. The fossils you are now seeing, for example, were found in the Green...
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought that's not Harun Yahya. Yes,
no.
Harun Yahya is his alias. His real name is Adnan Akhtar.
Yeah,
but that's not him.
No.
I thought it was him. That is not him. Some younger guy.
No.
Maybe because he's serving a life sentence. I don't know.
Yahya has a beard.
Yeah, he's got a beard, and he's usually surrounded by sex Barbies. So
lots of plastic boobies and lips. That's what he's surrounded by.
And Botox.
Yeah. Okay, so he said. So the last thing he said before I had to cut him off was those fish right there. He said are from the Green River Formation, which, if you'll remember, is Eocene. So that's like what 40. What is that like?
Eocene?
It's like 45 million years ago. Hold on, let's see. Eocene. How old is that? 56 to about 34 million years ago. Okay, so
yeah.
Okay, so this is pretty.
That...
Yeah, this is Cenozoic.
For fish, it's not old.
Right,
fish.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so where's he going to go with this? What's he going to say?
River Formation in the state of Wyoming in the USA. It dates back 50 million years. Let's now examine this fossil in a little more detail. This large fish is a herring.
So that is a Nidia.
We can examine it from close up, and it is clearly identical to herrings living in the present day.
It's not, though, actually. Hold on, pause. Those, am I crazy? Are those tarpon? Those may be herring. Hold on. Am I stupid? Those look like tarpon. Peter, those Nestle, those look like tarpon, don't they? Can someone confirm that's not a herring?
I'm not familiar with the difference between tarpons and herring.
Look it up. Tarpon. Hold on, I'll put it here. So what he showed on screen first is Nidia. That's the herring, quote. I'm 95% sure what he has on screen right now is a tarpon.
I need to look at the jaw. Can you maybe go back a few frames? Is it possible?
No.
Frames, because the jaw of the fish is just outside.
A few frames?
I guess let it play a little bit more. Let it play a little bit more.
I think it's terrible, though, Jackson, that you got two people on the panel in whose country herring is...
Those are not herring.
There's an entire festival going on every year about herring, and neither of the two from that country know anything about herring.
I'm calling it. Those are absolutely not herring. Those are tarpon. That's not a herring. There's no way. Okay, hold on. Let him go a little bit further. I have to hear what he says. I'm sorry.
The fish's mouth, for instance, the eye socket on the upper section, the gills that enable it to breathe, and the fins beneath its gills can all be seen very clearly.
Those are just general fish characteristics.
Yeah, I was just going to say, every fish has those. I mean,
correct. Every single fish has all those characteristics he just said.
It's a
He's
fish.
like, yes, look, it has eyes right above its mouth, and it has a tail
and gills.
And gills. Okay.
Well, you wanted more specifics, Jackson, so I'm going to blame you for this. Sorry.
Okay, wait. So for clarity, or just to recap, this fossil is a Nidea. It's an extraordinarily common fish in the Green River Formation. It is a relative of herrings. I think it's in like the same. Hold on. It's in the herring order, which is Clupeiformes. And I
think it's also in the family Clupeidae.
Clupeidae, yeah, which is with freshwater herrings. Okay, so it is a herring. It is a fossil herring, but they are totally extinct now, right? So Nidea is extinct. They're gone. They're all extinct.
Yes.
And we call it Nidea because it is not the same as any of the Clupeids that are around today. It's not the same. They are different. Otherwise, we would just call them the same thing. It's a member of. There are lots of extinct Clupeids. You can look up a list of them on Wikipedia. But then, not only does he show us an extinct herring, he pairs that with a modern tarpon, which is not a herring or anywhere close to herring. Tarpons are more closely related to eels than they are to herrings. So
I think you're right, because now I'm seeing a tarpon, and it looks like especially the anal fin is very long, and it sticks out very, very deep beneath the ventral side. So it does seem more like a tarpon than a
So he showed us the wrong living organism to compare it against. Good job.
I think like one of the editors may have seen like fish clip. Oh, there's a fish. There's a fish clip. Show a fish clip, and that's it. They did not see. They did not check to see if it's actually a herring or not.
That's great. I love that.
I have
also
to...
if I go
go ahead, Nestle. No, go ahead, Nestle.
I was also looking up at the Paleo database, where you can look up like it's an online database, basically the updated version of Fossil Works, if you're familiar with that. And I typed in the family Clupeidae, and the oldest fossils are from the Aptian Cretaceous, 125 million years ago. So even this is a very it's not old for a herring, this fish.
Right, it's pretty recent.
Not that old. Yeah.
I do want to issue one warning, because Brian Stevens says he's looking at herring pics. A warning, and you got two Dutch people on this panel, and I think Nestle will confirm this. Do not go to YouTube and then put in the search bar Dutch eating herring. Because I've seen Americans being completely shocked at what they saw after that. And can you confirm that, Nestle?
How do you guys eat your herring?
I eat my herring in bread, in a sandwich.
So you don't throw your head back and lower the entire herring into your mouth?
That's the traditional way. I don't do that. No.
So
He's a refined man.
He's a refined
I
Dutchman.
like my. Yeah, I like it in a sandwich.
He's a flying Dutchman, if you will.
Also, I find it funny because the whole argument is basically a red herring, ironically. Yeah.
Now I wish I had my soundboard connected to this. I have that badum tish in my soundboard, but anyway.
You're so funny. All right, let's keep going.
Diğer yüzgeçler ve kuyrukları bugünkü ringa balıklarıyla tamamen aynıdır. Hatta
Let us take an even closer look at our fossil. You can see very clearly the fish's skeletal structure, and even some of the tiny bones of the structure are all crystal clear. Next to it is another fossil. This one belongs to another herring species. And like the other herring, it possesses exactly the same structure as its descendants living today.
Look, those are tarpon.
And now I see the jaws. The jaws are very typical. Yeah.
Those might be herring.
Those might be herring, yes.
That might be herring right there.
But the tarpons, the distinctive upper
Now you are looking
jaw,
at another
right?
fossil discovered in Asia.
Okay, so he just said the herrings were two different species. Then he said they were identical, and then he showed a completely different, unrelated fish. Good job, guys. They're so good at their jobs. They're so good at their jobs.
This one is a crocodile that dates back to the Cretaceous period. Paleontologists have established that this fossil is fully 100 million years old. In other words, this crocodile
It's fully
Nestle,
100.
can you do that?
It's fully 100 million years old, as opposed to partially 100 million years old. What?
Mm-hmm.
Is that? Yeah, hold on.
I
Cretaceous.
think if I were a betting man, I think that's a Tetisukian. A Tetisukian, I believe. But I don't know if it's correct. Because I can already tell based on the osteoderms. The osteoderms don't look like any modern crocodile alive today.
Yeah.
It's different. Yeah.
Yeah. That does not look like a.
Also, it looks more
Modern.
like I don't know if this is the English word, like a gavial.
No. The narrow snout has evolved many times independently in the crocodilian lineage. Also many stem groups as well. Yeah.
But in the modern day, it's only those have those, right?
Right. Yeah, they're the only ones who. The only modern ones have that super.
And the modern ones have very narrow skulls. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Here.
But can you find a fossil, Jackson?
I'm trying to figure out what he is. I'm looking it up. Wait, hold on. Wait. No, that's not it. Oh wait, is that it? Question mark? Because obviously this is a this is like a what do you call it? A cast or something. Trying to see, is that Steniosaurus? Maybe. Is that what that is? Steniosaurus? Maybe not. Not entirely sure. That might be it. I don't know. It might be, it might not be. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, so the thing I'm looking up right now is Steniosaurus. I put that in the chat. That might be what it is. I'm not 100% positive, but that might be it. Nestle, what do you think?
Yeah, it may be a Tetisukian, or as you mentioned, like Steniosaurus is a Thalattosuchian, right? That's a Thalattosuchian.
Oh, yeah, that would be too early. Yeah, because that's Jurassic.
And the Latasuchian is older, I believe. The Latasuchians were extinct by 100 million years ago. So I think this may be a Tetisuchian, or it may be a Goniofolid. It's also one possibility. Goniofolid.
It'd be a lot nicer if they could just tell us what on earth they're looking at.
At least, maybe he will mention the genus name later on, perhaps, if you play it a little bit more.
All right, yeah, let's see. Peter, we can play it. See if he says
lived 100 million years ago with exactly the same features as crocodiles living today.
Yine bugün yaşayan timsahlarla aynı özelliklere sahip bir şekilde var olduğu yaşadı. Şimdi isterseniz gelin yine fosilimize yakından bir bakalım.
I don't think he's gonna say it. Here. No. Okay, he's just showing stock footage of
I'm
crocodiles.
holding yet another fossil,
Right, here,
a
pause for a second.
75 million year old one that lived during the Cretaceous period.
Here, pause.
5 milyon yıllık
Okay, so he did not mention what species that is. If anybody can figure out what species it is, that would be super cool. I have no idea.
Well, Jackson, now you're being nitpicky. He clearly said it was a crocodile. And we all know there's only one crocodile, which is a crocodile.
There's only one species of crocodile, correct? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he was holding. Wasn't there also a fossil in the previous episode where we couldn't even ID what it was?
Yes.
Yeah, there was a seahorse, right? Yeah.
It was a seahorse.
Yeah.
And we were like, I'm pretty sure that's he had a fossil that nobody could tell what it was. No, that doesn't look like it. I don't know. I have no idea. No idea. Maybe someone can find it, but otherwise I don't know what he was looking at. It's almost like they don't want you to know what they're looking at or something. Like they don't want you to be able to call them on it or something.
That would kind of give the game away, Jackson. I mean...
Sure would. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. We can keep
let's
going.
look at this shark.
All right, shark. There's only
As
one
you can clearly see, this fossil belongs to a baby shark and displays exactly the same features as baby sharks living today.
Birebir aynı özelliklere sahiptir.
When we look a little more closely at its general appearance, its head structure, fins and tail structure, and even its skeletal structure.
Well, once he nailed it, general appearance. That's literally all he's been talking about.
He's doing.
For every single fossil, its general appearance is similar to the general appearance of animals living today. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Can all be seen very clearly.
Mükemmel iskelet yapısı gayet açık bir şekilde görülebilmekte ve yine
This fossil once again shows us a very important fact, that all living things had exactly the same perfect forms millions of years ago as they do today.
What did he expect?
Okay, so
that were half of animals swimming around that had to evolve the other half? Or what does he mean?
I mean, that's what Ray Comfort said, so it must be true.
Yeah. Oh, man. Then the dog evolved and waited around for a female dog to marry and to have babies.
It had to evolve from like a pound of hamburger into a dog.
Yeah.
And then evolve eyes, and then wait for a female dog to evolve. Yeah. It's true. That is how evolution works.
Oh.
Okay. No idea. I have no idea. That's a zebra shark.
I now have
Does he
another
think that
fossil in
fossil
my
is a zebra
hand,
shark?
but first, I would like to give you some technical information about it.
Please do.
This fossil belongs to a species of lizard which was discovered by
No,
paleontologists
not
in the
again.
Huixia Formation in the Ganglin region of China.
It's literally not a lizard.
Research has
It's a
determined that this
pachyplerosaur.
species of lizard lived 210 million years ago. Over 200 million years ago, this species of lizard was alive, with its flawless internal system and anatomical
That's a
structure.
Sauropterygian, right?
It's a pachyplerosaur.
Let
That's
us now have a
literally-
closer look at this animal. As the fossil clearly shows, it has been perfectly preserved, right down to the finest details. Its head structure, for example, and the graceful neck bones that attach the head to the body. There are so many details you can see,
that are nothing like that
right
of
down to
lizards.
its toes and to the joints on those digits that join them one to the other and permit them to move, right down to the perfection of its tail. This is an exceedingly clear and excellent fossil, whose details have been exceptionally well preserved, right down to the present day.
Cool.
It tells the adherents of the theory of evolution. No, evolution never took place at any time in the past.
There are nothing like those. Oh, hey! It's not a monitored lizard, for God's sake.
I now have in my hand another fossil that refutes the theory of evolution. This one is of a lobster, and paleontologists have established this fossil's age at around 146 million years.
Okay.
As you can see clearly, this fossil is completely identical to lobsters living in the present day.
Peter, what does that remind you of?
It looks exactly not like the fossil. Is it just me, or do they look
No, yeah, 'cause,
entirely
like,
different?
They do look absolutely different. They look the claws are completely different from each other.
Yes.
Because the lobster on the living lobster, his claws, the chelipeds are touching. Whereas with the fossil one, they are not touching. Are we supposed to be like, nah, that's the same? Looks exactly the same. Never mind what my eyes are telling me.
The size of the claws is different. The entire body shape is different. Everything on that fossil is different from the picture next to it.
Yeah. Also, this fossil fits perfectly into the mouth when turned upwards.
Yeah. It fits in the hand too. So it must be.
You can fit your fingers perfectly around it. Yeah.
Yes.
Ray Comfort, watch out. Adding an Octar stealing your bit.
Yes. Oh man.
Its tail structure, body, and legs, for example, are all clearly preserved. And its pincers, of course, have also survived in a very clear, distinct, and perfectly preserved form.
They look completely different.
Jackson, that's because those back then were perfect and these have devolved over time. It's called entropy, right? That's what it is.
That makes sense to me. None of the lobsters he's showing look like that fossil. Not one.
I would now like to introduce you to a very small but very significant life form. This fossil belongs to the Trilobite. Paleontologists discovered this fossil in France.
The Trilobites are still alive.
It is around 390 million years old.
Please don't say the isopod. Please don't say the isopod. Please don't say the
Trilobites are
isopod.
just one of the striking species that completely dash the expectations of evolutionists.
Why?
As you may know, these animals came into being during the so-called Cambrian explosion that took place some 550 million years ago, when a multitude of new life forms suddenly appeared in the fossil record. The most crucial point, and one that evolutionists cannot explain away, is that these creatures had no known forerunners or ancestors. This fact is now admitted by even evolutionist scientists. These trilobites and all other life forms that existed during the period when they were alive were created in a single moment by our Lord God, with no common ancestors behind them. One of the main features of trilobites that...
So, hold on. So trilobites didn't have any ancestors. So God created every single one of them. Every single time there was a new one that was special created because it didn't have any ancestors. That's weird.
Yes. Also, just ignore all of the the bilaterians that lived in the Ediacaran. Ignore all the stem eumetazoans. Ignore all of the stem animals. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry your pretty little head about all of those pesky fossils. Don't worry about it. Relax. Take a nap. Take a load off. Prop your feet up. Kick back.
baffles evolutionists is their compound eye structure. A trilobite's eye is made up of hundreds of minute compartments.
What baffles evolutionists is this video.
Of every arthropod on this planet. That's crazy. I'm sorry.
Each of which has a double lens system.
Wait, pause a second. Here, so what he's describing, the Fakapine eye, is only true for one group of trilobites. And actually, there is a clade of extant, I think it's amphipods, that have the same eye structure. So they independently cropped up in more than one lineage of arthropods. But also, so broadly, the way that arthropod eyes work is arthropod eyes are a collection of these rods, essentially. They're called ommatidia. So our eyes, our retina is concave. The retina of arthropods is convex. So instead of having one single concave sheet, they basically have a bunch of little tubes that connect the retina to the lens. So each of those is an ommatidium. So because of this limitation, arthropods have far worse vision than we do, because their brain can only they can only fit so many of those into the space of their eye, which allows them to take in less of a picture than we can. The arthropod that has the most ommatidia is dragonflies. I think they have 30,000 or so. But even still, their eyes are far comparatively worse than ours are because of that limitation. But also, what's going on right here with the Fakapine eye is it's just the ommatidia are basically in little groups. So each ommatidium has a lens. So each one is kind of like a little mini eye. But then they're clustered, and there's a lens over the top of them that of their cluster. So that's not particularly impressive. But I mean, it's kind of cool. It is pretty neat. But trilobites were preceded in the fossil record by other arthropods. By trilobites show up about 520 million years ago. He said the Cambrian explosion was 550 million years ago, which is one in the Ediacaran, not the Cambrian. Cambrian didn't start till 541 million years ago. But also, trilobites didn't show up at the start of the Cambrian. They showed up about 20 million years after the Cambrian started. And they are preceded by a number of arthropods that are at the start of the Cambrian that are either derived stem arthropods or basal crown arthropods. So basically, these are very primitive arthropods that were at the start of the Cambrian. Things like Isoxeida. I'll put that here in our side chat. Isoxeida. And there were several others. But of course, we have an enormous fossil record of the evolution of arthropods. We have the lobopods, which they share in common with tardigrades and onychophorans. We have the Anomalocarids, you have the Megachirons, the Fuxianhuids. There's so many different primitive arthropods. Saying that, well, they just pop up out of nowhere is kind of ridiculous. It's very silly. So we're not doing the whole Cambrian explosion thing again. We've done it ad nauseum. So, all right, we can keep going.
Except for one debate.
Except for one debate that was supposed to be about Cambrian.
I'm going to keep bringing that up. That's going to be a running gag on this channel, that one debate about the Cambrian explosion.
It was the Cambrian debate that wasn't.
Yes.
I wonder what he's doing nowadays. I haven't seen any of his videos in a long time.
No. Oh,
No idea.
Nor is the other guy that wrote a paper recently. I haven't seen him on any videos.
Finding Truth. Wasn't it Finding Truth?
Yeah, Finding Truth. Yes.
Almost 30,000 subscribers. Good for him.
I think he kicked me from his Facebook group for some reason, because I used to get notifications every single time that he did a new video through Facebook, but I haven't had any.
Because his last video was a year ago.
Oh, okay. So maybe then I didn't get kicked.
And his last video was with James Tour.
Ah.
Okay.
And then you had some pesky YouTuber mess with James Tour. Maybe that did him in.
Maybe. That was that a year ago? Oh, goodness.
I don't know. Professor Dave? Okay. That was a while back.
Was that a year ago? Professor Dave James Tour. Was that a year ago?
I think
that was a year ago. Oh my gosh. How time flies when you're having fun.
Yes. Right? Yes. Okay.
Fascinating. All right, we can keep going.
This eye structure is identical to the eye structure of many creatures alive today, such as spiders, bees, and flies.
I mean, the fake eye is not the same, but regular arthropod eye.
Such a complex structure appearing suddenly in a creature that existed some 500 million years ago is more than sufficient to invalidate the chance-based theories of evolutionists. Why? Because no such complex life forms ever existed during earlier geological periods. This goes to show that trilobites came into being with no evolutionary process behind them.
So far he had fossils that resembled animals today, and now he's going with, well, the trilobite has the same eye structure as insects.
Yeah, except when they don't, but also when arthropods just have like the same overall eye structure. Yeah, I'm not. What is the argument here? What are we going for?
Yeah, he lost
clearly
me.
There aren't any trilobites around now. I wonder whatever happened to the trilobites, Peter. Do you know what happened to the trilobites?
I think they died.
They died.
And they
wonder why.
They went to heaven.
That's crazy. No, trilobites don't get into heaven. They go to purgatory.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, but so no, because there's no purgatory in Islam, and this is an Islamic.
Are trilobites Islamic?
No, the video is Islamic, so.
Oh,
they might
this trilobite specifically went to Islamic heaven? He got his 72 virgins?
They got to give them 72 of something, I guess, when they get there.
72 opabinia. That's what he gets.
I'm pretty sure with how things are going in 2024, they're running out of virgins over there. I don't know where they get them from. Oh no, those were specially created. We learned that from the Quran as well. So you got.
They probably found them. They found their virgins in the Modern Warfare servers.
No, Allah creates them in heaven specifically for that purpose. So you get automatons that have never lived, don't have an identity, don't have a soul, don't have anything. Okay. Kind of like sex robots that we were slowly getting here. which Elon Musk
It's funny you say that because
seems to be
I was
excited
just
about.
watching an episode of The Twilight Zone that had like a sex robot in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You haven't seen
about
that Elon Musk responded to an AI girlfriend that you can have right now?
Whatever it is, I don't want to know. I don't want to be a part of it.
I'm pretty sure that's the only girlfriend Elon Musk can get these days.
Well, you know, he excels at having children. It's just, you know, giving them the time of day that he doesn't do so well at.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
in all fairness, I don't think that the children would have it any other way, because I don't think he's I mean, if I had a dad like that, I wouldn't want him to give me any time. Just piss off, go to Tesla, and find out that you're not getting your yearly bonus this year. Oh, oops.
All right, we keep going.
As you will immediately recognize, this is a fossilized tiger skull. It was, again, discovered in Asia and has been dated at around 20 million years old, which places it during the Miocene epoch. It has also been perfectly preserved, especially in terms of...
No shot. No shot. Yeah, Panthera only goes back to the Pliocene.
Is this like a Macarodontine, like a saber-toothed tiger?
I think it's a cat, but I think the date's wrong. That looks like just a normal cat skull, a big cat skull. Hold on, because I'm curious now. Tiger skull. That might be just a normal, yeah, like, I bet he's right that that's like a tiger skull, but... Hold on. My wife is saying something to me. What? Yeah, that looks like a very... Did you say it looks very well preserved?
Right, it doesn't look like it's...
Yeah, it's not fossilized at all. Yeah, this skull is not at all fossilized. But yeah, so this group doesn't go back further than like... What does it say? Panthera diverged, yeah, then evolved into the tiger, into the species about 6.5 million years ago. So yeah, okay, so this there were no tigers 20 million years ago. There was no Panthera 20 million years ago. He is just wrong. He is simply incorrect.
But Jackson, I have to jump in because I am talking to a creationist on Twitter who has told me that there are unfossilized dinosaur skeletons.
Ah, of course.
He hasn't shown me any, but he claims that there are.
Peter, they're out there. Don't you? Don't.
He also claimed Mary Schweitzer found them.
Ah.
Someone should tell Mary Schweitzer.
How convenient.
About that.
Someone should tell Mary Schweitzer. Yeah. All right, we can keep going.
The structure of its teeth, which it used to capture prey. This skull possesses exactly the same perfect structure and characteristics as do the skulls of tigers living today.
Because that is a tiger from recently.
Yapı, tasarım ve özelliğe sahip bir kafatası.
Pretty sure that is simply a tiger skull.
The next fossil is that of a scorpion discovered in the Santana Formation in the Araripe region of Brazil. Its age has been put at 110 million years.
Okay.
There is no difference between this fossil and modern-day specimens. Its pincers, body, feet, and tail are all identical to scorpions alive today.
What species is it?
The fossil you are looking at now is that of a shrimp discovered in the Solnhofen-Eichstatt region.
Scorpionid. You know what? Yeah, Scorpiones, right? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do Scorpiones. Oh, is that it? Hold on, hold the phone. Nope, that's not it. Hold on. Next. Aptian, Santana, Proto-Ischnurus. I don't know what that is. Proto-Ischnurus. That might be that one. It's not a modern scorpion though, but it could be that one. I didn't get a very good view on it. So it looks like the scorpion, the fossil that he had there, may have been Proto-Ischnurus or Aerorebus scorpius, neither of which are modern scorpions. No, it couldn't have been Aerorebus scorpius because that's a pseudo-scorpion. Never mind. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm going with. Proto-Ischnurus. Noticeably not a modern scorpion. Okay, sorry, we can keep going. What shrimp is it?
Of Germany, and has been established to be 155 million years old. Again, it is clear that there is absolutely no difference between this fossil, its structure, and all its organs, and specimens living today.
Really? What species of shrimp is it?
When we look at this fossil up close, we see that it is identical to modern-day shrimps in every detail. Its head, antennae, body shape, shell, legs, and tail structure all have come down unchanged to its descendants in the present day.
That's a totally different group of shrimp than what you just showed. Pause for a second. Hey, Nestling, isn't it crazy how there's only one shrimp on Earth today?
Very strange.
Well, in different
There's
colors.
only one shrimp.
In different colors. He did show different colors.
So that last one he showed, that was a mantis shrimp, which is a stomatoporoid, which is very different from ghost shrimp that he showed earlier. Ghost shrimp. Ghost shrimp are in Palaemon, which is within Caridia. So the Caridian shrimp. So stomatoporoidea? Nope. Hold on. Hold on. Am I getting it wrong? Mantis shrimp. Stomatopoda. Sorry. Stomatopoda is the order of mantis shrimp, Stomatopoda. Ghost shrimp are in the order Decapoda. So a completely different order of shrimp. Okay. Anyway, we can keep going.
I would now like to introduce you to a fossil of a juvenile turtle from Asia, having been discovered in China. It has been established to have lived in the late Jurassic and early Cretaceous periods. The age of this turtle is 120 million years.
That is in the Cretaceous.
Yet there is not the slightest difference between this fossil turtle and specimens alive today. Its head structure, legs, and shell encasing its body all clearly demonstrate that these reptiles have remained unchanged for millions of years.
That's crazy, dog.
I am now holding the fossilized leaf of a plane tree.
What?
This was unearthed in Colorado and is around 50 million years old. This fossil, which has survived with all its details just as if it were a photograph, is just one of the important pieces of fossil evidence that show that many such plants have come down to the present day with their same perfect structures and have never undergone any structural changes.
Plantain. No, not there. There's three species in the Northern Hemisphere.
You can now see a fossil bat, a member of the flying mammal class. This fossil was discovered in the Frankfurt region of Germany.
Peter, does this bat also have 8 limbs?
I don't know. Is a member of the flying mammal class?
Yeah, don't you know the flying mammal class? It's within the mammal phylum. You have the mammal phylum and the flying mammal class.
Yeah, the class.
That's how that works, isn't it?
The class of 150 million years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how many limbs this one has.
Is that how old he said it was?
No, I'm just making that up. I did.
Okay.
I'm sitting here with two animals who think that this video is brilliant. They're both really excited. One is looking at the screen and the other is peeping in its cage. So we need more of these videos because my animals enjoy them.
And I will tell Camilla to find me more.
I don't know if you can hear the bird squeaking in the back. He really likes it.
I did hear that.
So, let's see how many limbs we've got now.
It has been established that it lived during the Eocene epoch, around 50 million years ago. When this fossil's bat's bone structure and anatomy are examined, we can clearly see how bats living millions of years ago were identical to those living today, and how they have undergone no changes and no supposed process of evolution at all. I am now holding two separate fossils. One of them is a sunfish. The other is a herring of the type we saw earlier. Both lived at the same time. These fossils were, again, discovered in the Green River Formation in Wyoming and have been established as being 50 million years old. Another important feature of these two different fossils, of course, is that, with all their perfect structures, they demonstrate that these species were identical to specimens alive today. There is no difference between these and living sunfish and herring. Their heads, eyes, gills, fins, bone structure, and tail are all identical to those of their present-day counterparts.
Except that one has a much longer tail than the one in the fossil.
You want to know what's funny also? There are lots of species of sunfish, of centrarchids. You know, this is the bluegill that's on screen there, or whatever species of Lepomis that is. They all kind of look the same. There's like a bunch of different species of Lepomis. There's Micropterus, which is the smallmouth bass. There's the largemouth bass. There's the crappie. There are lots and lots of different species within the sunfish. This is one single sunfish. But asking him to provide us with a specific example is too hard. So, you know. Has he ever shown a modern skeleton or just modern live examples? Says Lieutenant Fitz of Rage. I think he's only shown us modern organisms. He just shows us the live ones. He doesn't show us like skeletons. There is no analysis going on here whatsoever, aside from, we'll just look at it. Well, I guess that's not entirely true. He did tell us the fish fossil that had all the characteristics of modern fish, like fins, gills, eyes, and so on. That's about as deep as the analysis gets. So, yeah.
I'm now holding a fossil from a somewhat younger geological stratum.
var elimde.
This particular creature, known as the pipefish,
Bundan yaklaşık
lived around 23 million years ago and was discovered in Italy. This vertebrate dates back to the Miocene epoch, yet it has exactly the same characteristics as contemporary pipefish. It is still yet another fossil that
Hey guys, do you want to know what that fish on screen isn't?
It's not a pipefish.
It's not a pipefish. That is a trumpet fish. This idiot has again put the wrong fish on the screen. That's a trumpet fish.
But Jackson, it looks the same.
I'm sure it does to him. When you have no knowledge of zoology whatsoever, I'm sure it looks identical.
Yes.
Good God. That's a freaking trumpet fish.
They're both long and thin. That's what counts, Jackson.
True. They must be the same then.
They have to be the same.
So true. So true. They're not even in the same family. Pipefish are all in
And you know what?
Signathidae. What?
The fossil didn't have any clear fins, so he could use that for a worm as well later on in another video.
True. He can be like, see, worms are identical.
Yes.
Fossil worms. Well, I saw somebody use Picaya, and they did the Harun Yahya thing, but they said it was an eel, which is insane because Picaya doesn't even have a mouth. Doesn't have a mouth, doesn't have vertebrae, doesn't have, or sorry, I should say doesn't have a jaw. It doesn't have a jaw. It doesn't have a mouth, doesn't have a jaw. So it has no jaw, no vertebra, no fins, and yet somehow it's an eel that has all of those characteristics. I don't know how that happened, but you know, whatever. You know what? He's just not very good with fish.
Allah works in delirious ways, Jackson. That's what it is.
True. I'm feeling delirious right now. Watch this.
Okay, let's continue then.
shows that a living species has come down to the present day completely unaltered.
And you can't deny the dramatic music just confirms everything. That's what the music is for.
True. Like, you know what? If he'd at least said it's a trumpet fish, like that would have been okay.
It's like a 70s cop show with the music.
A 70s cop show?
Yeah, you know where on the most exciting moments the music swells and completely randomly. That's what this is too. I miss Potholer going in the back.
That's
Sorry.
Great. I love that.
One of the environments in which fossils have been preserved is amber.
Yep,
Living
beetle. There are
things such as insects
300,000
and even small
beetles.
reptiles are sometimes trapped inside the resins and ooze from tree bark. Over time, these resins gradually harden and turn into transparent amber that preserves the organism inside it, virtually unchanged. Since these small creatures trapped in amber are immediately and totally cut off from contact with the surrounding atmosphere, their bodies survive in a near-perfect state of preservation over millions of years, right down to the present day.
A snout beetle.
Creatures
Weasel
fossilized in
lizard.
amber show in the most dramatic ways that there exists no difference between living things that existed millions of years ago and were preserved in amber and their present-day counterparts.
That's it, all right. One of tens of thousands of species of ants. Yep, the wasp, one of thousands of species of wasps. Same for Trilobites. Yep, all different termites are the same.
That one doesn't look like the one in the amber. Not even close.
You know, Peter, I'm actually really glad these videos came out before AI was a thing, because they're absolutely going to be using Chat GPT to like make animals for their videos in the future.
Yeah, well, no, because all of the money has been seized from Harun Yahya, so he can't make anything anymore.
Oh, maybe there is a god. Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
That assassin mode is not very good at being an assassin. We saw it. I just want to point out that by the time things are being recorded in amber, I'm willing to bet that like most of the modern or like all of the modern orders had existed by then, if not most of the modern families probably. So like I'm not super surprised, or at least I wouldn't be surprised if like these things turned out to be in like or stem members of modern families, for instance. Like, what do you think, Nestle?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
I was just saying, like, I wouldn't like pretty much all the modern orders of insects. Like, by the time amber is able, or flowering plants were around to like preserve things in amber, like I'm pretty sure pretty much all the orders of insects were around by then, if not probably a good number of the families, right?
Yeah. It's like the insects we are familiar with today, like bees and butterflies. Like they are Cretaceous in origins, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, so everything he's showing is like Cenozoic, so it's not really surprising. Again, like they're not going to give us any specific species, but it's really not surprising that, like, if you're taking like a uh like a rove beetle, for instance, like I would be willing to bet like the family of rove beetles is probably around by then. So like showing a rove beetle is not like it showed a weevil earlier. Weevils had been around since like the Jurassic, right? They've been around for a long time. By the yeah. So I'm not. What is this music? This is this music is as Peter says, it's the dramatic music to like get you excited, So
This is the music that is used to confirm everything he says. It's confirmed by the music. That's what the music is for.
True. Yeah, so like weevils had been around for a very long time by the Cenozoic. So like that's not all surprising. So okay. All right, we can keep going.
Fossils preserved in amber represent a major field of research for a great many scientists.
True, I read a book on them not too long ago.
For example, entomologists Dr. George Ponar and Roberta Ponar, both from the University of California at Berkeley, have carried out highly detailed studies of fossils preserved in amber in various parts of the world, particularly those in the Dominican Republic. For their book, The Amber Forest, they brought together hundreds of fossils aged between 45 and 15 million years. Fossilized specimens of many living things trapped in the act of carrying food back to the nest, in a state of defense, attempting to camouflage themselves or defend their young, or releasing chemical substances in order to neutralize predators, have all been preserved and now displayed in amber.
Okay, pause 1 second. From that book, What Bugged the Dinosaurs, which I put there in the side chat, there's one thing in that book that really piqued my interest. There was I think it was a biting midge that had a diet of blood in its gut, and something, maybe a lizard or a frog or something, had tried to take a bite out of it. So they pulled at its back end and like pulled the back end off, and the gut contents spilled out into the amber. But what was really cool was the biting midge was vectoring a virus. I think it was called polyadenovirus. Was that it? Poly-DNA virus? Was that right? Polydnavirus? Polydnavirus? I don't know. I think that might be it. Was that it? Let's see. Biting midge, virus, amber. Hold on. I'm gonna find this. Because it was actually a really cool fossil. And let me see if I can find that paper. What was it? No, sorry. Cytoplasmic polyhedrosis virus. So cytoplasmic polyhedrosis virus. So this biting midge had this virus in its gut. And then when its gut was when the back end of it was pulled off, the virions spilled out into the amber or into the tree sap, and then it was preserved in the amber. It's really, really cool. Really cool fossil. Okay. Anyway, we can keep going. He doesn't even bother telling us what these are.
Like other fossils, these ones preserved in amber demonstrate one very significant fact. Living things have remained unchanged for millions of years.
Oh,
In other words, they never underwent evolution.
of course.
Tens of thousands of fossils preserved in amber show that since the very earliest times, termites have always remained termites. Ants have always been ants. Frogs have always been frogs. Grasshoppers have always been grasshoppers.
And dogs have only given birth to dogs. Sorry.
Yeah. You know what's funny is that's not even true for ants. You have like Spheca in the late Cretaceous that are basically they're transitional between ants and wasps. They're not just ants. Bees, you also have, I'm pretty sure you have like primitive bees that have characteristics that are not shared with modern bees. Also, like this whole thing has been about insects or arthropods in amber, and he just threw frogs have always remained frogs in there, which also not true. Nestle, do you remember what the frog is? They call it like the frogamander.
Well, you can ask Nestle, but he fell off.
Nestle fell off?
Just when you started talking, Nestle dropped off.
I think it was Triadobatrachus. I think. Yes. I think it was Triadobatrachus. So this guy, they call it like the frogamander. Yeah. Yeah. He's a cool little guy. Well, there's also Gerobatrachus, but I don't think I think he's not considered a close relative of them anymore. Not sure. Okay, so he was originally thought to be, is he? Hold on. How old is this? No, this analysis does put him close to frog also. So Gerobatrachus, that's another one. These guys are like frogamanders, basically. Okay. Alrighty, we can keep going.
And moths have always been moths, and that none of them has ever changed.
True. There's only one species of moth. Now that one might actually be a lizard, unlike the other lizard they showed. But again, what species of lizard? No idea. That's a centipede, not a millipede. That is a millipede. I love when they show the wrong animals on screen.
I love it how no one wanted to hold up these animals trapped in amber because they couldn't find any modern day animals that look like them. They found one guy who was willing to do a voiceover. The rest of Harun Yahya's people said, nope, we're not touching that. That's not even close. The things they pull up don't look like the ones trapped in amber.
Yeah, they kind of don't. But Peter, if you just pretend that they are the same, then they basically are the same thing.
I saw a message from the guy who's sponsoring my channel, Kenneth Copeland. He's the one telling people to subscribe to our channel. He says that if you ask for something, and then if you really believe that you got it, then you will get it. And I still don't get what he's saying there. So you have to believe that you already have it, and then you get a second one? How does that work in your brain? No, I have two. I only asked for one. I already believe that I got it, and now I get another one. Maybe
it's autocatalytic. You know, it just keeps growing exponentially.
I'm wondering if he did that with his planes. No, he got those for real. He didn't. Never mind.
He had to just ask everyone to give him more money.
Yeah.
You know, so. Those were two completely different caterpillars. Wait, they didn't even show. Okay, wait, hold on. We're not even showing modern organisms now?
We're not even naming them.
Fossil organisms?
There was one that was just a so many million-year-old fly. Okay, what kind of fly? Oh, it's a fly.
It's the fly kind.
Yes. It's becoming more and more silly. We already had a termite. Another fly.
We're not even showing modern organisms. The facts revealed by fossils.
Yeah, now we're going to get facts.
As you know, the theory of evolution maintains that millions of years ago, the Earth must have been entirely populated by primitive life forms.
Wait, those are modern organisms.
Yet fossils tell us the exact opposite. As you have seen throughout the course of this film, living things that existed hundreds of millions of years ago are right before our eyes today. And contrary to what evolutionists claim, they are not primitive at all.
That's not a flying fish, that's a sea robin.
Fossils document the fact that even in the very earliest times, there existed living things with exceptionally superior features and highly developed and complex structures.
It's not a lizard.
When the evidence preserved in the fossil record is examined in detail, we can see creatures whose body...
Has 4 arms.
Yes, that's... And four legs. You see the ones folded up and the ones stretched out?
The octobat.
Yeah, that's the octobat. That was one that you couldn't find, right?
Well, yeah, because it's 2 fossils overlaid on each other.
Yeah.
In the original fossil, he's like, it's the one where he's all like balled up. The wings are not outstretched in the fossil.
So what you're saying that they photoshopped in the wings, Jackson?
They sure did.
Shocking.
They basically put a different bat's like wings and legs over this bat that already has wings and legs.
Mm-hmm.
These structures, organs, and skeletons are identical, right down to the smallest detail, to specimens alive today. This fact, of course, completely undermines all the myths and scenarios suggested by the theory of evolution. Because what it means is that over the course of millions of years, no supposed evolutionary process from the primitive to the most advanced
Those are all known
ever
fossils.
actually happened.
Those are known fossils. We have all those fossils.
According to the theory of evolution, over the passage of eons, all living things descended from one another by means of gradual changes.
Okay.
Yet if this claim of evolution were true, then flawed, imperfect, underdeveloped, intermediate forms representing such an imaginary process.
Peter, was that a lizard turning into a frog, or a frog turning into... Hold on. I'm sorry, hold on. Wait. Is this a coelacanth turning into an alligator, turning into a sheep?
Yeah.
Is that what we're looking at? The imaginary intermediate life forms that evolutionists allege must have once existed. You know, Peter, I'm going to have to agree with Adnan on this one. I don't think any of those existed in the past.
No. But I'm curious, so what are the fossils that we found of animals that no longer exist? What are those?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry, Peter, don't worry about it. You're worrying about it right now. You just need to not worry about it.
It's always...
Just got to not worry about it.
Every single creationist, they don't do logic well. They make claims that contradict each other. They show you fossils, but they don't show you any fossils of intermediate life forms, and then say those were all the same. What about the fossils that aren't the same with animals that are alive today?
Well, Peter, didn't you see? He showed an image that was very similar to the one that I have right behind my head. Those are all fossils we've already found. They're not imaginary. We already have them.
Yeah.
Why did he not show them? That's what I want to know.
Because they couldn't find an animal alive in the present day that looked like it. My
That's
guess.
Crazy. I wonder why that might be.
My guess. And they ran out of fishing lures too.
So odd. They didn't have enough fishing lures to make Dimetrodon? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. I mean, who's fishing with Dimetrodon? You won't catch anything if you use that for fly fishing.
Because you'd have to go fishing for like Dunkleosteus or something.
Yeah.
Or Megalodon, you know.
Well, I am subscribed to a channel where it's a running thing that people have found a living Megalodon. Every single time it's a fake. this guy does videos, is it true or fake? And then there's also at the end, this one's so fake it's funny. But yeah, they haven't found a Megalodon yet.
I've had to explain to a lot of customers at the aquarium why we know the Megalodon is no longer with us. Because nobody knows.
I'm so surprised that Kent Hovind hasn't shown the pterodactyl over Ohio yet. I don't know if you've seen that. There's a video going around on social media of a pterodactyl flying over Ohio, which is, I think it's a 6-year-old video that was not a pterodactyl, that was completely generated on a computer.
Somebody tell what's his name? John Morris Pendleton. Somebody get John Morris Pendleton's stat.
You can't. He's dead. Not even kidding. He was. So I was trying to get to talk to him.
Turning in his grave right now.
And he replied to me on Facebook several times a week, but on different times. Every single time on different times. And I don't always look at Facebook. So I would get an invite to join one of his live conversations, and I never made it to a single one. And then it stopped, and I thought something's wrong. And then, yeah, sadly, he passed away. We're never going to see the pterodactyl. He never got to finish his experiment, which only cost $5,000 for a pig, a fence, 2 men watching the perimeter 24 hours a day, bucket of blood. What did he have? What else did he have? He had some weird things. Eucalyptus leaves. Eucalyptus leaves, because pterodactyls are closely related to koalas, I think.
Of course.
And they put up sense. And the funniest thing is they had to put up a fence around the perimeter so that the pterodactyl couldn't get away anymore once it flew in.
Right.
But once it landed,
makes sense to me.
There wasn't a landing strip, I think, so it couldn't take off again.
So wait, you're telling me it was like a lobster trap, but for a pterosaur?
Yes.
Okay. That's great. I love that. Good for him.
And the funniest part was that he had a guy who had seen one of these pterodactyls, and he identified it in a book. And I don't know if there's this lizard that has what looks like wings. They aren't wings, but it has on its back.
It's got it can like stretch its rib cage out. Yeah.
Yes. And so he'd seen that, and that was a pterodactyl, according to Pendleton.
Draco is that species of lizard, or that genus. I'll put it here in our live chat. The guy is Draco. There you go.
But I do feel sad about him passing away. I really would have wanted to talk to him, especially about the pterodactyl project. But yeah.
Well, missed opportunities.
Yeah. God thought not having that. You can come home now before you embarrass all of us. I don't know. Hey, Neslig is back.
Neslig.
Hello. I apologize. Like my internet got out because I was looking at a online PDF for Harun Yahya's book, which shows the crocodile that we were looking at before.
Oh, it does? What does it say?
I was just desperately trying to scroll down the PDF to look at the page, but something happened with my internet. Maybe my computer got too overloaded for some reason, and I got out. But it does not name the fossil. It doesn't name the fossil.
Can you do a reverse image search?
Yeah, I also tried that, and the only thing I found is the name, the only fossil that looks like it is called Plesiosuchus.
How do you spell that? Can you put that in our side chat?
I can put it in the side chat. Every time when I image search that fossil of the crocodile fossil that was showing here, The only thing that looks remotely like it. Let's see. Can I put? Yeah, there it is now in the side chat. However, this is a fake fossil. It only shows up in like these online purchase websites. Like, oh, purchase this rare fossilized crocodile specimen from us. Like, this species name does not show up anywhere else. Only on these websites where you can purchase.
Wasn't that the same case for the Oh, Nestle, you're right. There it is.
So I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure that's it. So it looks very similar to what Harun Yahya shows.
Holy crap, you found it, Nestle. Good job.
Yeah. And it's a fake fossil. How ironic.
What a surprise. It's a fake fossil. Good God.
So does that mean
but they did the same thing with the seahorse.
So does it mean that the octobat isn't real either?
I have terrible news for the octobat.
Yeah, Nestle, you missed it. We got the octobat again.
Oh, again? Oh, sorry, I missed that. What was it about that? The octobat?
It's
the same.
Yeah, that had 2 arms and 2 legs, and then the wings also had 2 arms and 2 legs, so 8 limbs in total.
The wings also. The wings had 2 arms and 2 legs, and the legs had 2 legs.
Yeah, he had 2 folded up arms and 2 folded up legs as well. Next to the other one.
So 4 limbs tucked in and 4 limbs spread out.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's the same thing that we saw 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, that was the same fossil.
Hey Nestle, you want to hear something sad? The Plele sucus specimen was sold for 15,000 euros.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's all fake. Like,
I tried to look, but it sold for 15,000. That's what I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Don't tell me.
I tried to look it up on Google Scholar. I also tried to look it up on Paleo Database, and it doesn't show up anywhere on Paleo Database.
Nowhere. Don't tell me that it was sold to the Creationist Museum in Germany. Oh, by the way,
they are the only ones that are stupid enough to fall for it. So yeah.
By the way, does any of you have about 4 million euros to spend?
just hanging around?
I'm being serious. I'm Nestle. Nestle, you should know this. Noah's Ark is for sale.
In the Netherlands or in the US?
No, in the Netherlands.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
This one, opposed to Ken Ham's, has 7 stories. It's massive. It's really, really massive. I thought,
and it actually floats. I believe.
And it floats.
Right?
Yes,
it actually floats. Yes.
And one of the things that I really liked is the creationist who owns it now and who wants to sell it had a sense of humor. He had a giraffe, so a stuffed giraffe on board that was on different levels. So the bottom part, so the legs were standing on the bottom level, and then you could go upstairs twice to where the head was. And it was just a hole in the floor where the neck went through. But yeah. Also an ark where he wasn't allowed to have live animals on it because they would die. Weird enough.
Yeah.
But if you're in the market
the other day,
if you're in the market for a really, really big house that floats, he's not going to get 4 million. He's already told people that he's not going to get 4 million, but he wants to sell it to someone who is serious. I don't think that he's going to get one in the Netherlands. Although
did you guys see that there was an article this art. Oh wait, is this a fake? Is this a fake news site? I'll be very sad if it's a fake news site. It'd be quite funny though. There was an article recently that dropped that said possible discovery of biblical Noah's Ark location in Turkey. Okay, so well, that's less cool than what it was. Okay, so initially the articles were like archaeologists stunned after discovering remains of Noah's Ark. But it turns out all they did was find like what they think. The area where they think it would have landed based on the story. Which is like quite a different thing.
By now, I think it's safe to say that Noah had a fleet of arks. Based on the amount of times we found it in different locations.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, there was also they've claimed to find the Ark everywhere from the Middle East to China, so you know.
Yeah, I'm really sad that I don't have $4 million, €4 million, because the one for sale, it's actually very, very nice, and it's got a giraffe on the deck too. So if you drive up to it, it's in a harbor in Amsterdam, I think. So there are animals on deck, which
like actually live animals. Not stuffed.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't allowed to have live animals on the Ark. He tried, but yeah, no, those pesky Dutch people intervened and told him that he couldn't. He had goats and cows and stuff on there when he started out. But yeah.
But the creationists should be really happy about the fact that there is so much evidence for Noah's Ark that it can be found all over the world, apparently.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
That's one way of looking at it, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well. maybe play one more little clip and then we'll call it.
Okay.
Must once have existed. For example, half fish and half reptilian creatures must once have existed, having acquired certain reptilian characteristics while still retaining fish-like ones.
Okay.
Or creatures displaying both reptilian and bird-like characteristics should have appeared. Furthermore, there must have been millions, even billions more of these intermediate forms than existing species. And naturally, we should have encountered plentiful fossils of these intermediate forms in rock strata all over the world. As a result, all the museums in the world should...
Just curious, was that Donald Prothero that they showed just now?
Oh, I have no idea. I didn't even look.
The guy in the hat that was digging?
I mean, it may have been like it was stock footage of.
Okay, you go back of maybe a few seconds, if it's possible.
Let me see.
Just out of curiosity.
Or like a minute. Yeah, if you could go back like maybe a minute.
I might be able. Let me see. Okay.
I'll try to keep a better eye out for it.
There we
go. All right. So play.
Furthermore, there must have been millions, even billions more of these intermediate forms than existing species. And naturally, we should have encountered plenty.
There.
Is it? I have no idea.
Can't tell.
I can't see.
I can't tell. Yeah.
It might be, but I can't see.
Fossils of these intermediate forms in rock strata all over the world. As a result, all the museums in the world should have been displaying fossils of half fish, half reptiles. half reptile,
He's literally
half
showing
birds,
an intermediate
semi-finned,
hominin.
semi-tailed, half-winged, half-legged, eyeless, earless, one-eyed.
Didn't I call this
Yeah, we
earlier?
expect to see one-eyed.
Didn't I call this earlier?
What-
He's
what?
expecting to see half animals. There we go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of a deep misunderstanding of creationism.
A fly with one wing. And
What
A
creationists
dragonfly with one wing.
don't understand is that evolution necessitates that an organism was fully its parts essentially were or that the organism in total was fully functional, like in each generation, right? There was no non-functional for 100 generations before it became functional again. Like that's not a thing.
And they think intermediate means incomplete. They're not the same.
So like first of all, I want to point out he's showing stuff like this, but he never showed like Tiktaalik, Acanthostega, Panderichthes. They never showed Archaeopteryx. They never showed like Microraptor. Why do they only show fossils of groups or that look similar to modern groups? They haven't showed fossils of anything that doesn't look similar to a modern organism, which is very, very odd because they're showing a lot of fossils in this thing. So for instance, like Archaeopteryx, right? So birds ancestrally, like the first avialans, I should say, were not capable of like fully powered flight like birds are today. They could fly better than a sack of potatoes. They're not capable of full flight. So Archaeopteryx had some degree of powered flight, but it was not as good of a flyer as like your average like sparrow or robin or something. But it didn't have to be, right? It was perfectly capable of living in its environment. It had adaptations that allowed it to survive perfectly well in its environment. Likewise, there are lots of fish in the fossil record and today that are capable of surviving on land and in water. They can spend quite a bit of time on land and then get back to the water. This is not how evolution works. Evolution doesn't necessitate that you have something be non-functional. So yeah. Well, it's about 9 o'clock my time, so I guess we can call it on the video for today. How far did we make it through the video, Peter?
We made quite.
Or better question, how much further do we?
We have about half an hour left. So we covered.
Okay, not bad.
We covered a little over half an hour today. So
okay, we did pretty good.
Yes.
Good. Mm-hmm. So we could finish it next time, presumably. And I should probably bring just another video just in case. I'll find something else that we can. And then, well, because then we'll probably next time do Nestlig's show. We'll do a Philomaniacs episode.
Stay tuned. Did you get any news from our potential guest for next week?
No, I haven't asked him yet. I haven't.
Right.
I haven't done anything YouTube related today. This is the first YouTube thing I've done all day, or really the past since last, Tuesday. And I think Dapper and I are on next Tuesday for Jackson with Jackson, because the Tuesday that I would be doing Jackson with Jackson would be Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, one of those. I can't remember. So he's like, we'll just push it to the start of the month instead of the end of the month. So that's what we'll do.
I wasn't watching the chat. I'm just looking at the chat. Maya Atkinson, it is 4 a.m. here. Can I please sleep?
Also, I just yawned, so I am definitely
another hour, she says.
So basically my weeks right now are all just working on stuff for next semester. That's all I'm doing. I haven't been putting any effort into YouTube recently. I would love to write the Rotifer's tale, but I don't really have time right now. I just so I'll get that out when I can. Um, so sorry. Um, otherwise, not a whole lot going on. Pretty much the usual. So
I do have a
one thing,
request.
if you are going to do the Jackson with Jackson on Dapper's channel on Christmas Day, can you play the song of Kent Hovind singing "Let It Snow"? Or like, what was the song again?
by
song?
Josh Bowen, by Dr. Josh
Yeah,
Bowen.
yeah.
Yes.
That was
In
pretty
his
great.
voice.
There are
Yeah.
two. So we're gonna do it next week instead of doing it on like Christmas Day. But there are two really great voice acting that have been done in like our skeptic community, whatever you want to call it. One was that was an amazing accent that he did for Kent Hovind. The other one was Ocean Keltoy, the pagan guy. He was on, I think it was Viced Rhino's channel, and he was voice acting for Jordan Peterson, and it was the best Jordan Peterson impression I have ever heard. It was so good.
I haven't seen that or
Hold on,
listened
let me
to that.
find that video. Or was that Viced Rhino? Was it Bible Game? No, that wasn't Viced Rhino. That was Prophet of Zod. Was that Prophet of Zod? Who was that? Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can figure out who that was. Maybe it was Viced Rhino. Who the heck was that? Or oh gosh. No, not that one. Oh, does anybody remember who? Yes, Letits Now from SNL. Yeah. Who was it? What game show was that? It was like Ray Comfort, Jordan Peterson, and someone else, and they were all playing a game. They were playing like a Bible game or something like that. Ray Comfort, Jordan Peterson. Was it Jeopardy? Whose channel was that on? It was a hilarious video.
Sounds like something I want to see.
Oh,
I haven't seen that either.
it was animated. It was animated. Oh my goodness. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? I'll let you all go as soon as we can figure out what video this was. Please, it's going to kill me. Someone has to have seen it. Oh my gosh, it was like Bible Jeopardy.
Someone says Dark Matter 2525.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't the It wasn't the like Bible contradictions game. It wasn't that. It was.
No, that was
Bible Jeopardy.
That was non-stamp collector.
No, that was non sequitur. Wait, hold on. Who did you say? Dark Matter 2525?
Yeah.
I don't think that was him. I don't think it was Dark Matter 2525. Oh my gosh, who was that?
But it was Ocean Keltoy that did the impression, right?
Yes, it was Ocean Keltoy who did the Jordan Peterson impression. Hold on. Holy Kool-Aid. Let's see. Oh, wait, was this it? No. Because he does the animations. It was someone who did animations like this.
The Dark Matter does animations too.
Yeah, I know Dark Matter does animations. No, it wasn't. It might have been. Was it this channel? Because I think it was that animation style that looks familiar. Holy Kool-Aid. Is it Bible Jeopardy? Oh, I don't remember. I do not remember. Whose show was that? We're never gonna find it now, unless it was taken down. Could have been taken down. Entirely possible.
Did it have the names in the title of the video? If so, you can go into your search history.
I don't know. That's the thing.
You can.
I don't remember.
Oh, go in your search history and type in one of the names. See if the video comes up. That's how I usually do it.
Go to where would I go?
In your search history, and then type in one of the names.
One of the names of
DM Denver Canada Wing says Jackson keeping gonna go for it up for this. I don't mind. I don't mind. If he can find it, that's worth waiting for. Even with a bad back.
Oh, it's killing me. I will find this. Okay, I'll let everyone go. But I will find this video, dang it. It was so funny. It was the best Jordan Peterson impression I've ever heard.
Was it during a live stream or?
No, it was an animated video. It was an animated video where
maybe Paulogia?
No, it wasn't his animation style. It was somebody else's animation style is the thing. It was like Vice Rhino was the voice of the the Jeopardy host. And Ocean Keltoy was Jordan Peterson. Somebody else was Ray Comfort. I'm not crazy. I didn't make this up. It's out there on the internet. I will find it. I swear. Okay. All right. Anyway. Okay. Alrighty. Well, thank you everybody for watching, and I will let everyone go. Thank you, Peter and Nestle, for being here, and thank you everybody for showing up. I will find this video, dang it. And next time we come back, I don't think it was a Apologia video. Okay, anyway. All right. Bye everybody. See you next time.
I typed it in on YouTube. It's not coming up under Jeopardy with those two names. So wait, hold on.
That's okay. All right.
Jeopardy with Jordan Peterson, Ben Shapiro, and AOC. That's not it?
No.
That's kind of a Muppet style thing.
Vice, Rhino, Ocean, Keltoy. No. Okay. All right. It's okay. We're just going to go. All right. Thanks to everybody. Bye.
We're going to go for it? Never mind.
Yep. We're going to go.
Bye, everyone.